Hi everybody, it's Dr. Metzler here. We're going to be looking at the reactivity of the alkaline earth metals today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my videographer to come and show you exactly how I have things set up. Get nice and close here so that we can see how I have things set up. You'll see that what we're going to test is aluminum, magnesium, and calcium. We're going to do one test with water and one test with acetic acid. So right now, I'm going to put the materials into these tubes. So first, aluminum into 2 of the tubes. And then magnesium. These are little magnesium strips. They look like that. Little strips of magnesium, and they're going to go into those tubes. It'll take a minute here for me to dig one out. Okay. Aluminum's, oops, that was wrong. Let's try this again. Magnesium goes, see when you make a mistake, you can always fix it. All right, and then we're going to do calcium. Now this is the one that I have to be most careful with. That magnesium you saw is just magnesium foil, but calcium we have to store and handle very carefully. All right, so I have here acetic acid, and I have water. And we're also going to just see if any of these react with air. But if I pick them up, you see nothing has changed. I just put them in the tubes. They're just sitting there, and nothing much is happening. So there's no reaction with these in air. And I want you to remember how the alkali metals, when we watch the video, when they sliced into them, remember they were soft like butter, and they sliced into them and they were shiny, but they quickly darkened because they are so reactive, they react with air. But these do not have that kind of reaction with air. Now let's see how they react with water. I'm going to do them one at a time. I'm afraid I'm going to need a different eyedropper. That one's not working. Okay, so one at a time. We're going to add water to the aluminum, and we're going to see if we see a reaction. There's nothing happening there. There's no reaction of the water with the aluminum. Let's see what happens with magnesium and water. All right, nothing is happening here. Nothing visible. It's just sitting there in the water. Okay, what's happening? What's going to happen then with calcium in water? There's calcium in water. Let's see what we see here. Okay, so what we see here is we see some bubbling, and look what's going to happen. You see what's happening? All right, now I was careful not to put too much water in it because I didn't want it to overflow. All right, so you can see various things happening that are signs of chemical reaction. So remember that if you do see something like vapor coming off of it, that's not smoke. That's actually steam, just because it's gotten so hot. And if I carefully touch this tube, it's gotten very, very hot. You also see there's some white stuff produced. All right, so that's a pretty strong reaction with the water. Let's see what happens with our acetic acid. Now you can't smell it, but it smells like vinegar because vinegar is acetic acid. So let's see what happens when we put some vinegar or acetic acid. Once again, this eyedropper's not working. Just hang on a second. I'm going to get another eyedropper. Okay, so let's see what happens with acetic acid. Some of these eyedroppers just aren't great, but we'll manage. Okay, acetic acid and aluminum. Let's see if we can get some in there. There we go. Now it seems to be working a bit better. Let's see if we're getting a reaction here. Okay, absolutely nothing is happening here. Okay, so there's aluminum with acetic acid. I can smell the vinegary smell, and nothing's happening. Nothing at all is happening. I'm sorry, but I really have to have a different eyedropper because the one I have isn't working. Remember, when you're holding an eyedropper, you always keep it vertical, because I had some students turning it that way. That's no good because that contaminates the bulb. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Now I'm going to add acetic acid to magnesium, and let's see how that looks. Alrighty, now we're getting some bubbling. All right, it's bubbling all along the surface of the magnesium strip here. It may look cloudy to you, and that's because it's full of little tiny bubbles. I'm going to feel it. I don't feel too much heat being produced, but I can see lots of bubbles. So I'm going to put that there, and we'll come back and look at that and see if we get more from it. And then I'm going to put some acetic acid with the calcium. And let's see what happens here. All right, lots of bubbles this time. It's bubbling, it's foaming. Let's take a look to see if we see other signs of a chemical reaction. All right, so it's bubbling, it's reacting. You can see it starting to sort of foam up. All right, you see foam developing there. I'm going to carefully touch it. It's very, very hot. It's gotten very hot. Okay, now it took a while for this reaction to sort of build up some steam, but you can see it's foam, got foam coming up out of the tube. I'm going to put it down. If I make a mess here, I will have to clean it up. Okay, see the foam is up to here now. Okay, and looks like it's not going to make its way out of the tube. All right, so what you're going to do now, we are going to look at the magnesium again, see what's happening with it. It's still bubbling a lot all along the surface. It has gotten a little bit warm because this water was pretty cold to start with, so there's a little bit of heat being produced. And you can see how foamy this has gotten. You'll also see, once again, we got that white stuff like we did when it reacted with water. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to fill out the table in your packet of the reactions, the evidence that you see for chemical reactions, and then you're going to answer the questions. And thanks for watching.